What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Stocks by the Numbers, and I wanted to dive into another company today. I know I'm trying to diversify it, bringing you guys a lot of small caps, a lot of large cap blue chip companies, stocks that pay dividends, some that do, some that don't, positive earnings, negative earning companies, right? But this is a company that I know was in the news, got a lot of hype, especially a lot of younger investors, everyone moving into tech and the EV stage. This is a EV charging company. This is BLNK Charging, ticker symbol BLNK, listed here on the NASDAQ. Now, this stock, we pulled up a chart, was rocking and rolling, right? $1 and change explodes to north of $50. Absolutely ridiculous. Should have never happened. All of these companies, BLNK Charging, QuantumScape, right? All of those companies had a massive explosion because, people think that if a president speaks about something or if an analyst comes out and gives a positive review, then they have to get in, they have to buy it now, and the stock's going to go to the moon, right? This company, in theory, is probably years from now going to be worth significantly higher than where it's currently trading. However, stocks don't normally go from $1.60 to $50+ over a 7-8 month period, right? That's just not how it happens. So if you were part of this run, listen, I'm not knocking you. More power to you. I hope you made money hand over fist. You tuck it away for a rainy day, right? If you got in at 28, 42, 51, and now you're like, oh, the market sucks. I hate everyone. I'm down 80%. Let me tell you something. That is your fault. And I'm sorry to beat you up, but that is your fault. Reason being, again, stocks don't normally jump 50 times their value in 7-8 months. But more importantly, if you looked at the numbers of the company at the time, bringing in $6 million for the year and trading 5 times higher than where it is now, would be a market cap of $2.5 billion. So a company that is bringing in $6 million for the year but lost $18 million is worth $2.5 billion. I'm sorry, but if you stepped in and bought shares of this company at $40, $50 a share, again, I'm not trying to beat you up, but shame on you. But listen, no use crying over spilled milk, not trying to rub salt in the wound, right? You guys heard all these annoying dumbass phrases and expressions, but at the end of the day, don't beat yourself up. Don't stress yourself out. I do believe long term, in my opinion, this can be very, very valuable. And if you did get in at a much higher cost basis, if you do have the potential now to add to the position here as the stock is approaching back to single digit value, I would consider doing that if I were you, right? First of all, you see some pops here. Look, that's showing like 820. We switch over here, it's about 7 and change, 718, 5.5, 708, 680, 730, 640, 606, right? So some of these support and resistance levels are at like 6, 7 and change, right? So that tells us that it's more than likely going to come back down to those levels, and then you may potentially see the bounce up or the bounce down. And if you're looking to add long term, obviously the bounce down would be more advantageous for you. But again, right now, $500 million. This company did $20 million last year. But if we add up these 3 quarters, we're looking at like $38 million. And if they do another, $15 million, let's say conservatively, now you're like $52, $53 million for the year, which is over 150% jump from 21 to 2022. In yearly revenue, right? So that's phenomenal. The company's definitely heading in the right direction. However, to bring in $50 million in change and you're valued at $500 million, you guys can see now you're trading 8, 9, 10 times total revenue. However, you're losing like $2.5 for every dollar that you're making, right? So they're probably going to bring this down in value, which is why after it hit this ridiculous peak, anyone who owned shares probably sold them. And said, oh, I'll get back in at a few dollars where it was, right? $1.60 to $53, right? Ridiculous. So this can easily pull back to $6, $5, even $3, $2. That would be completely justified, believe it or not. I know you may not want to hear it as a shareholder or a potential shareholder, But numbers don't lie, right? That's what I always say. So do I like it at 10? Sure. Chances are, could probably step in at 7 or 6, right? Chances are. But again, if you're stuck in it for the long term, not stuck in it, but tucking it away for the long term at a higher price, don't beat yourself up, right? Keep your eye on the prize. Look at the long picture, not the short picture. But if we switch over here, I just wanted to look at some numbers real quick. You can see the profit margin line looks a little bit more attractive. It's bouncing around, however, still minus 150%, right? So the company is struggling with their profitability. However, quarterly, as you can see, these numbers, look at the profitabilities here. The return on assets, minus 40%, right? Minus 26%, bouncing around back down to minus 27%. So the company is dealing with some volatility. However, they are trending in the overall long-term correct direction. Look at the EBITDA margin. Again, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization was minus 300%, minus 200%. Now, minus 126%. Is it still horrific? Yeah, kind of. Is it the worst we've seen? No, right? We've seen companies drop from positive to negative and the stock went higher, right? So, I mean, of course, anything can happen here in this market. However, if we look at news articles for the company, you can see BLNK collaborates EV charging services to GM dealerships in Mexico, right? GM dealerships in Latin America. BLNK provides EV chargers to downtown Rockford, Illinois. BLNK, where was it? Well, here, right, to distribute Zeus Power's EV chargers in U.S. BLNK launches new home charging unit for EVs. It talks here about the losses widening, but the revenue rising well over 100% in Q3. So basically, what you need is this company to continue expanding its footprint, increasing its revenue quarter over quarter, year over year, but more importantly, just spreading out, right? Because they were already saying that there's going to be like a lot more EV vehicles on the road, EVs, so to speak, on the road as opposed to how many charging stations there are, and that it might be an issue. So if this company makes charging stations, right, and they're getting incentives or just more and more phone calls and entering into more partnerships and dealerships, as we saw, expanding into Latin America, Mexico, and they're putting charging stations in Illinois, and there's home charging stations now. That's what I mean. I want to say this is when you want to invest into the company, but it just might not be at this exact price. So, in my opinion, BLNK is a buy, especially long term. However, I don't know if I'd jump in at 10.19 because I feel, again, the stock's been bleeding for almost 2 years straight. I think that we can get 7.19, 6.19, or potentially even 5 and around that level. Because again, if we cut the market cap in half from 5 million to 250 million, if they did roughly 50 million for the year, they're trading 5 times yearly revenue, even though they're significantly net income negative, but that is a more realistic multiple. And again, if we can get in at 6, 5, or maybe even 4, that, in my opinion, is when you'd really go balls to the wall, so to speak, and begin contemplating really taking a sizable position in a company like this, especially if you have the time to tuck it away for 3, 5, 7 years, right? And just quickly, if we go over to stock charts, really the most attractive thing is the RSI here on the weekly at 34, right? Could be viewed as oversold. However, it was overvalued, so it might just continue dropping. Bottom Bollinger Band, 8 and change. MACD slightly pulling back. As we said, we could see 8 and obviously lower than $8 a share. A little bit of resistance here on the daily, on the 50-day moving average. As we said, the stock was $1 and change, and it's still sitting at $10, right? So they're probably going to continue to take profits, pull it back. RSI on the daily, 28.8 right here, so could be viewed as oversold, and you might see a short-term pop maybe to 11 and change, potentially even 12 here in the next couple of days or couple of weeks. However, again, long-term, in my opinion, probably will most likely continue to bleed. MACD still pulling back, and again, $7, $6, $5, that would be much, much more attractive than where it's currently sitting at 10 and change. But I'm going to leave it there. I just wanted to throw my hat in the ring, give you my slant, throw my 2 cents in here about BLNK charging. If you agree or disagree, let me know. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop it down in the comments section. But, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. You guys keep the channel flowing. You keep me motivated to, continue to pump out these videos and have these discussions. So, thanks again for viewing. Just like everyone on YouTube says, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like my videos, subscribe to my channel. But more importantly, I understand that markets are rocky, they're volatile, and they're uncertain. So moving forward, I wish everyone success. I hope everyone makes a couple of dollars. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for stopping by.